Are you stuck? What about unhappy? Join Alena Chapman, author, mentor, and life coach for 30-minute moments as she challenges you to get out of the doldrum and start living your life to the fullest. It's time to celebrate that life with 30-minute moments.
Welcome to 30-minute moments for betterment and ease in your life. I'm your host, Alena Chapman, and I have something for everyone out there in WoWo land. I have a very special thing I'm doing for you. It's called Meet Alena. It's a time to relax, converse, and chat with me. And what are we talking about, you wonder? We are going to be talking about whatever you want to talk about to bring more ease and betterment into your life. You will get firsthand, apply to your situation, a tool, a nugget, a concept that you can start applying directly into where you need it most in your life. Does that sound awesome? I think it's awesome. That's why I'm doing it. Now, all you have to do is to text, okay, on your phone, or you text 41411. Again, 41411. And where you usually type the words, you type in Meet Alena. What will pop up is my calendar. You just schedule a time. All right? And make sure you leave your phone number so I can call you. That's all it's for. Nothing tricky there. I just have to be able to call you at your appointment time. And we will talk. That's it. I think it's fun. Now, on with the show. Very exciting. We have kind of switched gears. We're going to be learning some very fundamental, important things about debt. Yes, debt. And how to get out of it. And the person I have on today is Aja McClanahan. And she's a person... Thank you. We practiced her name. She's a personal finance and small business writer who has a personal story of getting out of, listen to this, $120,000 of debt. Wow. Her family story has been featured in places like Yahoo Finance, Marketplace, U.S. News and World Report, Kipler's, and many others. She's just on everything. And I'll tell you, I love that she has now taken the things that she's learned through her lesson in life and brought it to help others. And with that, I'm going to bring on Aja. Hello, my dear.
Hey, Alena. Thanks for having me.
I am so excited about having you on because, you know, right now we're finding that when people even lose their job, they only, you know, we're spending so much. We truly have become consumers, which I hate that label. And now we're getting into debt. We spend more than we make. So
absolutely.
I know. Isn't that something? And you and your family actually conquered that. $120,000. How did you find your family and you? How did you get into that to begin?
Yeah, so that is an interesting story. So I am a part of that generation, the Gen Xers. So we were fed that story about getting your college education at all costs, and most of that cost was signing on the dotted line for student loans. So my husband and I, when we got married, we each had about $30,000 in student loans. And then a few years into the marriage, we went on to finance cars. I started a business and had some credit card debt and then some other miscellaneous debt. And when it was all said and done, we had about $120,000 worth of debt. And we didn't even own a house at the time. So this is like consumer debt, student loans. Yeah, it was pretty depressing when we tallied it all up, to be frank.
Well, and nobody said, wait a minute, you can't do all that. I think, especially college, it started way back when I was in grad school, even before I went to college, that you just went to college, no cost. In fact, I didn't even know there was a life if you didn't go to college. That's how I was raised. Honest to God. I thought, what do you do if you don't go to college? My God. So what happened is that many people, my parents, they did it this way. My mom went to work for the university. I didn't have a choice where I went for undergrad. This is where my mom worked for 10 years. This was going to be free tuition. You go there. And they did that on purpose. That was planning ahead. But a lot of people don't have that opportunity. And the kids take out these loans, $30,000, $60,000, $100,000 before they even start on their life. It's it's really scary.
You can't get a drink when you're 17, but you can sign on the dotted line for over $100,000 worth of debt and still not know what you want to do in your life. So that's a system that needs to be fixed.
It does, and just educating people. So all right, so you accumulated this debt. You don't even have a house, but you have tremendous amount of debt, and you're trying to start a family. So you woke up one morning, and what did you do?
Yeah, so the thing that kind of triggered me to say, that's it, I'm done, I have to take care of our finances, was that we started our family pretty quickly after I got married. My first daughter. And once I had her, I just personally, there's no shame for anyone else who can do this. I just personally felt deeply conflicted about putting her in daycare at such a young age.
Right.
So I knew right away that I wanted to stay home, but we had so much debt that it would be nearly impossible. We couldn't do it on one income. And on top of that, just a few months into our marriage, my husband had ignored some notices from a creditor, one of those for-profit schools that he went to, and they ended up garnishing his wages. So we were on one income. It was being eaten up by debt, and we had other debt waiting in queue to take care of. And it was disastrous. It was overwhelming. But when I made the decision to do this for my child and whatever children we would have in the future, I have 2 kids now, I was just like, we have to do this, or they're going to inherit these bad financial habits. They're going to inherit a life that depends on debt, and I just knew I didn't want that for them.
Isn't that is true? We do inherit. How our parents thought of money, it does seep into our belief system extremely fast.
Absolutely, and I just wanted to model a different financial course for my kids. So it was a really hard decision to make because people around us didn't understand. They're like, what are you doing? Why are you trying to pay off debt? Because, frankly, we're all very comfortable living with debt. I think there's a report that says U.S. household debt is at the $13 trillion mark. The average household carries between $10 and $20,000 worth of debt, and that's just averages. And in communities of color, those statistics are even more grim. So people just didn't understand. They're like, "What are you guys doing? Why can't you travel? Why can't you eat out with us? Why can't you?" And we were just on a mission that it seemed like really nobody understood.
No, they don't. And you can see that. You see it in the world today, that people don't understand that debt is debt. It's like carrying a baggage along with you on your life. You owe.
If you have things you want to do, start a business, be an artist, if you have different hopes and dreams, usually debt crushes that because you have to service. It's the reason they call it servicing debt. You serve that debt. Because that comes number. You have to keep the lights on. You have to keep the bills going. You have to keep your credit up. And to me, it's just a big hindrance for people who want to be creative, do things. So for us, I knew that I didn't want to serve debt, all of our lives.
So now you've gone through this evolution. Basically, that was an evolution. It was an awakening. It was acting on that awakening, and then it was moving forward into a new mindset. So you came from this. This allowed, that debt was normal, that you live with it, you don't worry about it. But then with this evolution, how do you think about money?
Well, we have cultivated a habit of saving money. We definitely live beneath our means. There are many things that we could do. We could vacation. I could upgrade my wedding ring. We could get new cars. We can do all of those things. But because we have a different focus, our focus is building wealth and not servicing debt. So we reserve a lot of our income to build wealth. We have 2 businesses. We invest in real estate. And we still do have credit cards, but we don't carry debt. We pay them off.
Yeah, I do too.
Every month.
Yeah.
So we pay them off. So we do everything that we can to avoid going into debt. So debt, especially consumer debt. Now, within real estate investing, we have assets that are tied to debt, and we actually have accelerated plans to, pay off any debt, associated with real estate. Some real estate we have with no debt on it, and some of it has some debt on it, but we're aggressively paying it down. So our philosophy when it comes to debt is get rid of it at all costs.
That's mine too. I just don't want that constant reminder that I have to pay something. It really bothers me. So I want to get it out of the way. And so I do not have debt. And I've cultivated that also. But it's also an energy, and it's also, it drains on, it pulls you from manifesting and making abundance and even prosperity in your life if you are constantly pulled back into, oh my gosh, I have to pay that. And that pit of your stomach starts to get, it gets very heavy and it weighs you. And putting resistance into your life, that's it right there. So,
and the other thing about debt is that you are promising your future to really something that's unknown. So you're saying, I'm going to pay something off, but you don't know all the time what the future holds. And you can just tend to overextend yourself because you made a promise today, and then tomorrow, who knows what tomorrow will bring, and you're just adding more stress because you didn't anticipate you could lose your job, you could have a family member that falls ill. So that's like the other thing is you're promising your future, and your future should be reserved for hopes and dreams, not paying bills.
Right. And it's funny, we think, okay, now we have to not spend money, and we get so serious and we can't go on vacations. I remember when I was first divorced, and yes, a lot of money was going to lawyers, and so everything had to be scaled back. And I thought, you know what? My kids need a vacation. We need to get away. Well, right in my little hometown, and we drove to a city close to us, we did cheap things that were really, just riding the transit was an adventure, seeing how mommy can get lost. These things were really fun to my kids, and we didn't spend very much money. So you don't have to give up the fun and the warmth and the togetherness and be harsh about it. You can be creative and still enjoy.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I think debt robs your creativity. There have been times where we were told, this is going to cost this amount of money, $5,000, $3,000. But with creativity, we were many times able to find other solutions. So if you have a habit of depending on debt, that'll be always your go-to. But if you have a habit of depending on creativity and innovation, that'll be your go-to, and that'll help you avoid debt as well.
That's wise words. You are listening to 30-Minute Moments, and I'm your host, Alena Chapman, and we're going to do this again. And this is Aja, and I want to get her last name correct because she's just a sweetheart, and it's McClanahan. Yes, thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.
You're listening to 30-Minute Moments with Alena Chapman, helping you discover your true purpose on WOWO and at WOWO.com.
Welcome back to 30-Minute Moments. I'm your host, Alena Chapman, and I have Aja McClanahan on the line. We are talking about money and debt. And I'll tell you, Aja has some very creative ways, and we're going to continue this conversation, some very wise words on how to live our life and get out of that debt. And with that, Aja, there is such, money is energy. And just like anything else, it's a matter that vibrates at a frequency. It's when you break it down, it's still energy. So with that, how has it changed in your mind as far, are you attracting more money? Now that you have changed this creative process and this growing process, you have 2 businesses now, you're out of the $120,000 of debt, but now are you attracting money in?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, we do have, we have 2 businesses. One is where we invest in real estate, so we have some rental properties. And then I am also a personal finance writer and a blogger, and I've frankly had some really amazing things happen just in the last year. I've done a TEDx talk. The ink is not even dry on a book deal I just signed. I'm writing a book. It's called Money Conversations with Our Daughters.
Oh, cool.
So
that's very good.
Yeah, things are definitely different from when first got married and we were, drowning in debt and wondering, how we were going to live, from paycheck to paycheck. And, the thing that really where it started was our mindset. Money mindset is such a big deal.
Yeah,
and that is what changed the course of our lives when it comes to money. We were literally deep in debt, living paycheck to paycheck, and now we own businesses, property. Even my kids. My kids are they get paid to act and do voiceover. There's an actors union, so even my kids have investments. They make money. In fact, I have to file my oldest daughter's taxes soon because she owes on her taxes. So it's a family thing, and it's something that hasn't stopped. So I'm really excited about what's been going on for us.
Oh, that's very cool. It is, and it's how we pass. My parents, money was non-speakable. You didn't know how much they made. It wasn't your money. You don't know that. You know what I mean? And that I don't think is a good way to go either. It makes money untouchable. It makes money, don't worry about it kind of thing. And it's not a sense of not worrying about it. Because you're not worrying about it, all of a sudden when you have to deal with it, you do worry about it. So when we're talking, and then the Gen Xers were taught just go for it and don't worry about the expense. That's just as bad as not knowing that you should be thinking about it. And so in this, how should parents be talking to their kids? Because you're writing a whole book on this too. Yeah.
So I think the idea of money conversations, they seem very broken in our country.
Very broken.
As you mentioned, either it's really opaque, you just don't know what's going on, or it's so transparent that, you have kids that are worrying, like, is mommy going to have enough money to feed us tomorrow?
No, and that's sad.
Yes, it's tumultuous. There's turmoil, there's embarrassment, there's shame. When you make money mistakes, you don't want to have to tell your kids, kids, our house is in foreclosure, So what I'm attempting to do is to make the conversation more transparent. There are things that you can talk to your kids, when it's age appropriate. You don't have to overwhelm them with worries, right?
Right.
But you can begin to teach them money concepts. So when a child is old enough to say, I want something, I want candy, I want a sucker, you can begin to teach them, well, did you know that costs money? And money comes from, hard work. Money comes when mommy and daddy goes to work. You can start to have those conversations early on, and then it's okay to even give them responsibility. My oldest daughter, she pays half of her phone bill.
Ah, very cool. I haven't started that one. I may do that. And when she drives, she'll cover some of her insurance, and then soon she'll cover her entire cell phone bill. But it's okay to tell them, she's at an age where we can reveal expenses of the house. I have no problem telling her, this is how much our groceries cost. This is how much we brought in last month for our income. So you can have those age-appropriate conversations little by little, start talking about college, even the idea, because I'm with my mom and, kind of taking care of her, and she's older. Yes.
And there was just so much, it was just there was no transparency in what's going on with your insurance, your retirement. So it's okay to have those conversations. We have to, or we're going to sink as a country.
We have to have this conversation. It's funny. I have always taught my kids that whenever they want it, I always encourage that they do what they really love, because what you're excited to do every day of your life is going to last, and you will not get that. What is it when you turn 50 and you have, I forget what it's called,
the
midlife crisis. Yeah. And they won't have that. But I always said, okay, now you take your best thing in life and then you think, how can I serve? What makes me different from the person over here who's doing the same thing? What makes me special to make this business? Why do I want to do it? And why would people come to me? And
I love that.
And that, it's touching about money, but it always gives them a way to think about how to create the income, no matter what they do. And I think that I learned from actually a friend of mine who happened to be Jewish and was raised to be an entrepreneur. And that's one of the things that they were brought up with. And I thought, that is incredible. I love that. So I have children. My oldest is going to school. He's becoming, an optics something or other. It's kind of like physics, and he's big into that.
Oh, cool.
When he leaves college, he'll be making six figures like that.
Love
And
that.
my middle son, he's in 16, and he says to me, "Mom, I gotta go out because I got a deal." And what he's doing is he's selling clothes.
Oh, cool. Love, yes.
He's got this big deal. It's 2 shirts. But he makes money from, guys have him shop online and get him clothes. My third one, well, he's 14. He's thinking about it. He wants to be a software engineer. I say, okay, let's do it. But at least they understand. I think it's important for our kids because the world is not a secure thing anymore. You don't graduate from college and become a lawyer and automatically make money, or a doctor and suddenly make money. It's not given to you anymore like that. Correct?
It's true.
They have to think outside the box.
Yeah. The burden is now is being put on the workers. So you kind of have to create your life, the ideal lifestyle that you want, because you may not get the pension, the 401k, the health benefits. So you have to create your own reality.
And I've never seen anything sadder than when I see someone who's they really hate their job. I mean, hate it. But because they're in debt and because they're holding out for that pension, my brother's one of them. He's got 5 years and every day is drudgery.
Yeah.
You don't want to be that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think going back to the conversation with how you're raising your kids to say, do what you enjoy, pursue your passion. That's so important. But even in that, there has to be some element of financial stability. As parents, we have to start them off in college, where they take out minimal debt or no debt at all, so that they're not they don't have those encumbrances, because it's very tempting to do the drudgery, to take the job you don't want if you have bills to pay. So I think it's really a good idea. My goal is to send my kids to school without debt, and because I want them to be free when they graduate.
Me too. That's exactly the goal. You are listening to 30-Minute Moments, and my guest, Aja McClanahan, and myself, Alena Chapman, the host, will be right back.
This is 30-Minute Moments with Alena Chapman, helping you find your inner self every Sunday on WOWO and at WOWO.com.
Welcome back to 30-Minute Moments. And as you know, it is now time for the shift. And we are going to talk about aha moments, pivotal moments that Aja had that created the life she has now, or even something else that has made her life more wonderful. And Aja, do you have a story for us?
Yeah, so I think my pivot came, or my epiphany came, when I realized that I was the captain of my own ship. If I didn't want to be broke and in debt, I did not have to be. I could literally make the choice to live the kind of life that I wanted to live. I'm a Christian, so, we go by the Bible, and there's a scripture in Proverbs chapter 18 that says, death and life are in the power of the tongue. You can use your words, your thoughts, your actions to turn your ship around.
Yes, you can.
And even when we were broke, I was depressed. I had anxiety. I even went to the emergency room, thinking I was having a heart attack, and it was anxiety over money. So we were really in a bad situation, but we used our words, our thoughts, and our actions to get out of debt. And I just started saying simply, we are debt-free. We are a debt-free family. The McClanahans are debt-free. Mind you, we were on one income. Nothing in my physical surroundings had changed. No more money had come in. Nothing had happened for me to even make this bold declaration. But when I started doing that, money began to come in. Contracts came in. Jobs came in. The universe began to rearrange itself at my beck and call, because I was saying, this is what I want for my reality. I began to say, we are a debt-free family. We are increasing more and more. We owe no man nothing but to love him. That's a scripture in the Bible as well. That's
beautiful. I like that one.
And so we use those biblical principles, because again, as a Christian, these are more than affirmations. They also carry power with them. So we use
of course they do.
That power to change our circumstances. And so when people ask me how we got out of debt, yes, the budgeting came. We started side hustling.
Well, sure.
We refinanced and negotiated. Those were some things that we did, some actions that we took, but they they start with our money mindset. You have to change your thoughts. If you say, I'm not good with money, I'll always be broke. We don't even make jokes about being broke anymore.
No,
That's
we don't.
not allowed.
No.
Even in jest, you can change your subconscious. You can change your mind. And so we decided we're not even going to make fun of being broke anymore. We just don't have that conversation. And that's what it really takes. It doesn't take more money. It doesn't take, a higher salary. It doesn't take smaller expenses. Those things will come, but only as a result of your intentions, your words, your thoughts, your actions.
I don't think people understand when you change a mindset on anything, not just money, but everything. But let's use money because this is a show. If you have the mindset and you're joking about how I'm poor, you're reiterating in your mind, you're poor. You're reiterating, I don't have enough money. I'm in debt. I'm poor. Yeah. And it's thoughts. It's thoughts. Now, we always say in the world that I'm in the very spiritual and woo-woo world, as some say, is that, that sends it up to the universe and you get the law of attraction. It comes back to you. But it's logical. It is so logical. Because if you constantly say to yourself and believe, and your thought process is all about being poor, then the actions you put forward in life are creating poverty.
Yeah, your actions are going to create your reality, but your actions come from
your thoughts.
Your thoughts.
Yeah. Oh, how can people learn more about you or get hold of you?
Yeah, so I am online. My home base, as it were, principlesofIncrease.com. So you can go to my website there. You'll find all of my social media handles. I'm on Twitter, pretty active on Instagram, definitely Facebook. So if you just go to the website, scroll all the way down, you'll find all my social media stuff. And if you go to my website, you'll also get a free ebook on how to start the process of getting out of debt.
So maybe you have a little bit of debt. Maybe that's an energy that's pulling you away from greater things. But if you can change, you can. If you have the will, you can start to change that mindset. Start with saying, I am so good with money, and money is coming in because I'm serving the best I can to everyone I see. And you just start to see it start to change. I can't think of any more betterment and ease we could possibly give you than that nugget. So start going out and just living, and start to change the beliefs that don't serve you and learn the beliefs that do. I'm Alena Chapman. We just spoke with Aja McClanahan, and this is 30-Minute Moments.
This has been 30-Minute Moments featuring Alena Chapman. If you missed an episode, download it now at wowo.com.
Podcasts by Federated Media.